Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So recent events between Summer Walker and Eliza Rain made me want to make this video, which is about why some women are so much harsher on other women than they are on men. So basically, there's certain women, which I'm sure we've noticed this because it's been going on since the beginning of time, that are just very, very harsh on other women, and they're not harsh on men at all. And I know that most women don't want to think of themselves as being this way, but if you really look at people's behavior, it's not so much that they hold women to higher standards. It's much more than that. It goes deeper than that. And I kind of want to talk about it in this video, okay? Now, this has not only happened between Eliza Reid and Summer Walker, it also happened between Keke Palmer and Wendy Williams, when Wendy Williams kept arguing with Keke Palmer in the Wendy Williams show, when Keke Palmer tried to talk about her harassment at the hands of another artist. And Wendy Williams just kept going back and forth and putting the blame on Keke Palmer and not really holding Trey Songz to the same standards as, she did Keke Palmer. And I have 6 main reasons why I think women do this. Some of these reasons may not apply. All of these reasons may not apply to the same woman. But if you look closely at the types of women that do this, you will come to find that at least one of these reasons applies to them. So, super quick summary on the Eliza Rain, Summer Walker stuff. So, it was all over the blogs that Eliza Rain asked the courts to grant her $35,000 per month from Future, and everybody went crazy. And Summer Walker had a lot to say, and she basically took the side of Future, and she criticized Eliza Rain for wanting that much money and for putting Future through whatever she believed that Future was experiencing as a result of Eliza Rain's demand. And Eliza Rain came back saying that no one had the real story, and she explained or tried to explain what the real story was, and nobody was hearing it. And there was just a lot of criticism towards Eliza Rain. And sure, everyone had the little critique for Future, like, oh, why is he making so many kids? But you don't really get the venom towards Future that you get for Eliza Rain. People just get truly angry and vicious when they talk about baby mamas or Eliza Rain specifically. I know Eliza Rain specifically just gets a lot of venom from other women when they talk about her. So it made me want to list a few reasons why women tend to be a lot harsher on other women than they are on men. And I have 6 main reasons. And the first reason is this: most women are more patriarchal than they realize. Being patriarchal basically means you tend to see things through the lens of men, and your focus is on men, in the sense that your point of view is through patriarchal lines. So you view men as the ones wielding the power. You view women as the subordinate ones. A lot of people would disagree with this, but most people that are patriarchal do view women as subordinate to men. They think that men should have the power, or men do possess all of the power and the integrity, and women should basically live their lives in a way that will not get in the way of how men live their lives. And patriarchal people definitely hold women to tougher standards. They are very harsh when women quote unquote step out of line because they have this box where they feel women should stay in. And if they come out of the box and a man, for instance, does something negative to the woman is somewhat to blame for stepping out of those lines. And this is very basically the mentality of people that are patriarchal. And I think that a lot of women do not seem to realize how patriarchal they are. They will argue from dusk till dawn that they are not, and they actually believe themselves to not be patriarchal. But if you really look at the way that they hold women to different standards than men, and the way that they criticize, for instance, in this case, a couple of people might say, well, Future shouldn't be having so many kids. But that's it. That's all they say to Future. But with Eliza Rain, they really go in on her. They begin to list all these reasons why she shouldn't have done what she did and why she should be more responsible and she should not make demands and she should bear the consequence of her actions because she chose to have a child with a man with so many kids, so she cannot then demand the very best for her kids. And these kinds of reasons come from women that are patriarchal, although they may not realize it. I'm not saying that Summer Walker has any of these qualities, but this is just one of the reasons why a lot of women tend to criticize other women a lot more harshly than they criticize men. Reason number 2 is also a lot more common than a lot of people realize, and it is this: most women fail to recognize their own misogyny. Now, a lot of women do not get along with other women. If they get along with other women, they keep the women at a distance. There's just something about other women that they do not like, and they tend to be very quick to anger when dealing with other women. They're very short-tempered. They're not as understanding. They're not as forgiving, and they just really criticize other women a lot. And a lot of these qualities are qualities of women that are misogynistic, but they do not recognize it themselves. Now, we've heard many times of women that can't stand other women who act a certain way or don't have a lot of female friends because women have this, and this issues, as if men don't have any problems. The same women will have many male friends and know the negative qualities of these male friends, but they will be okay with it because they do not have problem with men, but they do have problem with women. Men are not the only misogynistic people out there. I have personally met some women that just do not like other women. I cannot for the life of me understand why. I've never really asked any of these people why, but their attitude towards other women is just nothing short of hatred and short-temperedness and impatience. And it's just, they would prefer not to deal with any woman at all, anywhere, under any circumstance. They will prefer it if they were the only woman in the world and everybody else were men. And they're just very misogynistic, but they do not recognize their misogyny. But this kind of mentality causes them to be very harsh on other women while they are easier on men. Reason number 3 is good old-fashioned insecurity. Now, a lot of women are more insecure than they realize, and they feel, as a result of their insecurity, they feel as though they are in a precarious position in the eyes of men and in the eyes of society. Now, because they feel they're in a precarious position, when another woman does something that they feel strongly against and they try not to engage in, they feel threatened by that woman's behavior, and they feel as though that woman's negative behavior will reflect negatively on them and knock them off of the precarious position that they hold in the eyes of men. So when one woman who does not know them, is not associated with them, has never met them, does something negative, they feel like that woman's actions will reflect on them in the eyes of a guy that probably does not even know that other woman, has no connection between any of these three people in their minds. But somehow these insecure women feel like that remote random woman's behavior reflects negatively on them and will knock them off their already precarious position because of their insecurity. And when people feel that way, when they feel like another woman is about to push them off of where they stand, they're more likely to be harsh on that woman and you know, try to I guess get other women back in line and have them behave in a way that they feel is more appropriate. So by Eliza Rain having a child with Future and demanding a lot of money, these kinds of insecure women feel as though other men, the men that they care about, that does not even know Eliza Rain, will associate Eliza Rain's behavior with their own behavior and look down upon them, and that will make the men respect them less, because the men will begin to associate them with women like Eliza Rain, and they don't want that. So they want to, quote unquote, whip Eliza Rain back into the position or into the box or behind whatever line they feel as though she should stay behind. A secure woman, on the other hand, will not feel this way. A secure woman will see Eliza Rain or other women's behavior as those women's behavior and not as her behavior. And a secure woman will not feel as though some other woman from a different state, not associated with her, will in any way affect how a person that she cares about will view her. Reason number 4 is projection. And I do think Summer Walker might be exhibiting this, which is these women are experiencing something similar from their significant others, babies' mothers. And because of the negativity that they experience in their relationship as a result of this baby mother, they will project their negative opinions and attitudes towards a random baby mother that has nothing to do with their own relationship or their own significant other, and the anger that they have for their significant other's baby mother will then be transferred towards this other random baby mother that has nothing to do with them. And since Summer Walker is experiencing the same thing with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's baby mother, I think that she is projecting her negative attitude and her anger towards Eliza Rain. And this is very common. A lot of women have experienced this at some point. Sometimes I think that the women begin to think about the negative experiences they had in the past or what they're dealing with currently, and project their anger onto a random baby mother, because the kinds of negative comments that I read about baby mothers on social media, and a lot of the people that leave these negative comments don't even know these baby mothers personally. They don't know what their unique situations are, but everybody seems to think that all baby mothers are in the exact same boat and they are just demanding money for no reason whatsoever, and they're all engaging in the exact same behavior for the exact same reason. And that clearly can't be the case, because all relationships are different and everybody's different. And children's needs are different, so the reasons for some baby mothers demanding money is going to be different. That's common sense. I'm not even a baby mother, but it really pisses me off when I see the negativity that some women experience just for trying to get the best for their kids. If a woman demands $5 million a month for her child, you know what? She's taking it to the courts. If the court does not think she should get it, the court is not going to grant it to her. But I don't understand the extreme anger that people just feel and express when they hear about the amount of money that some of these women are demanding for their kids, even without knowing the kids' special needs or what's going on, in the family. It's just, I feel like it's very illogical anger towards baby mothers. And this is another way that people hold the women to harsher criticism and standards than they do men. Reason number five, okay, some women have the fear of their inability to compete in a competitive world. Now, there's always competition amongst women, no matter what it is, with looks, with money, career, with husbands, significant others, cars, shoes, purses, eyelash length, nail design, earrings, whatever you can think of, women compete in that aspect. Okay, so some women feel as though if another woman is able to get something that they do not feel that they can get, that does not sit right with them, and they want the other woman who's demanding a lot to basically reduce how much she's expecting to get and how much she's trying to get, because they themselves cannot get that much. Okay, so I know for a fact that there are some women out there where if they don't think that they can get something, if they were in a particular situation, they will not want another woman to get it, for the simple fact that they don't think they themselves can get it. And perhaps they've tried in the past, perhaps they've been in the woman's situation and they've tried to get a similar amount of money as Eliza Rain, or it doesn't have to be money, it can be anything else. Perhaps they've tried in the past and did not get much. When another woman tries to get a lot more than they tried and failed to get, they go off and they get very upset, and they feel as though they almost feel insulted, and they think, how can this woman expect to get this much if I could not even get up to half of that? Or if other women could not get that much, what makes her think she can get this much? And that is enough to actually make people want to whip this other woman back behind whatever imaginary line that they've crossed, that they feel as though that woman should not be able to cross. And they get really upset, and they have all this standards that they feel like women should stay within. And all of this while, their focus is on the woman, their harshness, their criticism, their anger is all focused on the woman, not on the man. So while the man is just off doing whatever he wants to do, no matter how negative, they are focused on trying to keep another woman from getting what they do not believe that they can get or anybody else can get. And so they don't want another woman to try to get it. So, yeah, that's reason number five. My final reason number six, is loss of value. This kind of ties in with insecurity, and this kind of is about how some women feel that their value will be depreciated if another woman does something that is frowned upon by men. So obviously, men do not want their baby mothers asking for money or anything for that matter. And when a woman does that, a lot of men will have a lot of criticism and negative things to say about that woman. And there are some women that think that when a woman does what Eliza Rain did, that will reduce their own value in the eyes of other men, and they don't want that. So they try to criticize that woman and try to get her to behave in a way that will not reflect negatively on them, and so they don't lose their value in the eyes of men or society or whatever. So yeah, it does very closely tie into insecurity, but it can be its own quality, especially if the woman's valuation is tied in with other women's valuation. So if a woman thinks she's only as valuable as women are in general, she's more likely to feel this way. We've heard this many times where women say, oh, you make the rest of us look bad. And people that believe strongly in that kind of mentality are more likely to try to get another woman to behave more appropriately and to be harsher on those women and to be very angry and put their focus on the women's behavior rather than the man's behavior. A woman that does not believe that her value is tied to the value of other women that look like her or are in the same general category as her will not feel this way. She will not feel as though some other random woman's behavior is a reflection on her. I mean, she might feel it to a very small degree by virtue of the fact that they're all women, but not so much to the extent where she gets very angry and try to reform or change another woman's behavior in order to make herself look good. So, these are my 6 reasons why some women are harsher and angrier at other women for simply trying to get the best for themselves than they are on the man. And it's a very slippery slope because if you're heading down this path, before you know it, you will find yourself having all of this criticism for the woman's behavior and barely anything for the man's behavior, and that will not make the situation better because the man will continue to act in the way that they act very irresponsibly while the women are just being beaten down for trying to get the best out of a bad situation. That is all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.